Copy 5-5.
5, 4, 3. Hello everybody, welcome to Aldi. I'm Lieschen. I'm not going to be presenting today. I'll be behind the camera.
Hello everyone.
Now, just wanted to say hello, and we're back from holiday and it's hot, and I'll be getting behind the camera now.
How hot is it?
It's hot, it's very, very hot.
Right, well, thanks Lieschen. It's always a challenge and a treat to get you in front of the camera. As Lieschen was saying, it's very, very hot, but before we go into the weather, warm welcome to everyone to this afternoon's game drive here on the Safari channel. Have we mentioned it's hot?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we have. It's very hot. It's humid. There's nice cloud build up though, and I believe the last while the guys have been waiting and looking forward to rain. I was chatting with Patrick just now before drive with Rexon earlier this morning, and perhaps, I don't think this afternoon, but perhaps tonight or the next day or two, some rain to break the heat, but also to obviously just sort of cool the bush down a bit as well, wet things down and dust wise. Otherwise, Lieschen said a few things already. It was a nice break. We had a very relaxed break actually. We slept for, I don't know, first time in a long time I slept more than 7-8 hours a night most nights, so that was great. And we saw a bunch of movies. I think we watched 24 movies in the 2 weeks. Caught up on all the movies we've missed in the last year. And yeah, to be back this morning on camera with Rex was great. We had a fantastic start with leopards, gorilla and the boys, and a python. Those of you that missed this morning's drive, it was quite exceptional seeing a young leopard, or any leopard really, that had caught a python, and it caught himself I'd probably say about between 5 and 7 foot python, quite a large python, middle size for a python. I'm hoping we might find them. We can't go there straight away. They were around the Warthal area, but a little bit later in the afternoon we'll look around there, and also obviously quarantine. So possible leopard. We had an elephant walk past here just now. We're going to look for him, and otherwise just see what comes up. There's just one other little bit of news that I haven't actually sort of mentally prepared on how to share this with you, but I think the easiest just to spit it out. But I think some of you might have been wondering, but just over a month ago, so Lieschen and I made a decision, and we've been working towards the hows and the when-tos of it, and obviously had a long chat with Graham and Emily as well. But we're going to be moving, well, we were planning this already a while back, but we're going to be moving to Namibia, which is a very special place for both of us. In fact, it's where we met. We're going to get married there not so long from now, and we're going to spend the rest of our lives there probably, or at least a large part of it. And therefore we're going to leave the Sabi Sands, we're going to leave this area, and we'll be leaving the Safari channel and what's been going on here. It's obviously been an incredible journey. It's coming up on not quite, but almost 3.5 years for me, over a year now for Lieschen, and incredible things we've learned and shared along the way. We'll obviously talk more about this. We're still here for 2 weeks. We're going to stay until the end of February, and then we'll head up to Namibia beginning of next month. So there'll be lots more opportunity to talk about it and to explain a bit more what we're going to be doing and things we're planning on doing and things we hope to be doing. Certainly one of the things we hope to be doing, if not immediately, but somewhere towards the second half or later part of this year, depending on many things. We can't promise yet, but we'll see what comes along. But hopefully we'll be able to later on share some windows like this one with you into that part of the world as well. Namibia, as I said, is a very special place to us, and a very beautiful place, and certainly going to make an amazing home for us and our family, hopefully down the line as well. So yeah, that's a bit of news for the afternoon, that we will be leaving the Safari channel in about 2 weeks, but we've got 2 weeks of game drives ahead of us. Those leopards, I'm going to try and spend as many of those drives with you as possible, in this seat as well, and as many of those drives, to be fair, I'm going to try and spend with the leopard as well. Gorilla and the two boys, of all the animals around here, have come into a very, very special place for myself and for Lieschen and for all of us. So we'll be aiming at that a bit, and obviously there's lots to talk about, and we'll talk about that. For now, let's go look around, and let's go see if we can find this elephant to start with. We'll spend a bit of time with him, and then we will go looking for those leopards. Maybe just on that point, because I know even though maybe it's not that big news, but it's maybe big news for many of you, especially those of us that have known each other for a long time. But on the note of us moving on, we will obviously still talk about it in various ways. So don't worry about it or think about it too much for now. We're still here for 2 weeks. We're going to do lots of game drives together. We're going to do some fireside chats. We're going to talk about photographs and memories, and also future prospects and hopes and things we hope to share with you down the line. So there will be much more time to talk about this and deal with it on all the different levels. But it's something we're quite excited about. And as I've come to know with friends sharing the drives with us, and even people that have only recently discovered Wild Earth and Safari Channel part of it, it might just bring some interesting aspects into the African experience over the next year or so as well. But let's go sit with an elephant. It's always a nice thing to do. More specific, an elephant that, as you can see, is under some big trees, enjoying the shade, which we're going to try and find a bit of as well, and enjoying marulas, a fruit that many animals are eating at the moment, and certainly elephants are eating lots of. Nice bit of shade as well, Lieschen. Yeah.
One ear looks completely gone through.
I was trying to remember this morning, and in fact I didn't have time to go and look at my albums. Elephant names sometimes get a bit jumbled up, but I don't think it's the one. It's not Ngodi 2. It's not Ngodi. But maybe it's Ngodi 3. He's got about 10 holes in his ears. Everything from a large one in his right ear to a whole bunch of little ones and cuts and tears and grooves. Rexon also this morning was pointing out that he's got quite a sloped back in a way. In fact, in some small ways, he reminded me of Wonky. His body shape, Wonky always had that very sort of low back quarters or tall shoulders, depending on how you wanted to look at it. Wonky, there's a big memory. Animal that played a huge role in many of our lives. Lieschen? I must say, a bit of rain will do the bush good. Looking at all the red star zinnias around us here, we had a few in our garden as well before we went on leave, and the heat has really scorched them. A bit of rain will do the bush good. Let's go and get a bit closer to this Ellie. From this morning he was quite relaxed, so let's see if we can perhaps introduce ourselves a little bit. We'll see how long we stay and how long the elephant stays. Oh, he's having a scratch in his head as well. And sorry, what I meant with that is, hey? A little bit. Where? Talking of heads, what I was saying, if we stay with this elephant long enough and he walks away from this area, in other words, if he leaves before we do, I'll try and go and hang on that branch. So get this measurement now, or get an idea of it. When he flaps his ears, look at how wide the ears go, there till about there. So from that notch to that notch, which is about how wide? About that wide. And he's just getting underneath that branch. So if possible, I mean, as I said, the elephant might stay longer than we do. But I'll go and try and hang from that branch. Just to give you an idea, it's quite often, we don't always appreciate the enormity or the size of these animals. This is maybe an opportunity to do so a little bit. Is that thunder? Yeah. Thunder off to the southwest from us. Ah, nice scratch. See what he's doing there? He's using that rough bark of the marula tree. Because it's at the perfect height, he's actually leaning into it, but obviously getting a bit of a scratch from it as well. He's got lots of mud that's covering his back and his head. What time is it about, Lieschen? We went to gym, about 11:30. These elephants were down at the waterhole as well. We saw them from the Boyatela Lodge gym. You can see that he's quite hot as well. Elephants use their ears. There's other mechanisms as well, but in large, their ears are their main cooling mechanism. And when it's hot like this, those ears are almost constantly flapping. It can make quite a difference, about 4 degrees Celsius temperature difference to the blood before and after the ears, and then straight from the cooling process in the ears, it goes to the brain. So the brain, obviously the most important organ in terms of having the blood at a reasonable temperature and heat like this. I don't think you can hear it over the microphone, but every now and again you can hear him actually sort of snorting up those, not snorting, but vacuuming up those marullas. He's not pulling them all the way up in the trunk. He's just picking them up in the trunk and then putting them in the mouth. But in fact, he doesn't even put them in. If you look carefully, you'll see he actually tosses them in. That branch is in the way now, but you'll see the trunk sort of stops there and it sort of flies up into the mouth. He's covered in what is that, sand? It's not even mud, it's wet sand. That whole area on his back, look at the texture there. Looks like he sprayed mud on himself earlier at the warthol and then subsequently sort of sprayed some sand over that mud. What do you want to show? Where is it? Yeah, it's much more difficult with that screen to find little things, but where is it?
Here it is. Kingfisher. It's the upper trunk. I can find it.
Oh, there. Okay, gotcha. Go right a bit. Right. In. Good job. Yeah, that's good. No, yeah. Good spot. This is a woodland kingfisher. Birds that we'll still see around for the next till about April, early May they start leaving. Sure, even the kingfishers out. Look at how he's holding the wings a bit open. And your car. And what this kingfisher is doing is it's hanging around with this elephant's feeding. By the elephant walking around and disturbing things, the kingfisher uses that opportunity to spot insects that are disturbed by the elephant and then grabs them. And I think at the moment he's just too hot, too much energy to fly. Let's have a look at this Ellie again. I'm going to roll down. Come on, Jigga. This elephant is not bothered by us in the least. Let's see if we can perhaps have a little bit of mild interaction with him. Hey, big guy. Oh well.